Hey everybody, it's Thomas and Krista with Throne Builders.
Hi.
And we wanted to come and talk a little bit about soul ties. And this is something that, in our opinion, is very wrongly taught. It's either taught that they don't exist and there's no problem there at all, or it's taught that soul ties affect God's relationship with you.
Right.
And both of these views are incorrect and wrong. So we want to just try to simplify, try to make it easier to understand exactly what we mean by a soul tie, and then talk to you about how to break those soul ties. So a soul tie, the phrase is not found in the Bible, so I get that. I totally understand. But the concept is, a soul tie is basically when your heart becomes knit to somebody else's heart. And because of that knitting, because of that connection that takes place, there is now almost a melding of souls together. Everybody watching this video can relate to having good friends. You've had a good friend, a good girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, and you had a connection. And there was a soul tie there. There was remember the old phrase, "You're my soul brother," and
soul sister.
Soul sister. You're my soul brother. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, that old saying has a lot of merit to it because it's true that when we connect with people, we become unified with them somehow. A lot of psychiatrists will admit to the fact that you are ultimately a compilation of the people that you've been exposed to in life. Sometimes we have connections with people that are very positive, and we call those soul friends. You know, there's a soul tie. You know, I've sensed that we're just soul brothers or soul sisters.
Soulmates.
Soulmates. A lot of times there's a very negative connotation to that because we can also all relate to the fact that we have had negative experiences with people. And even years after that person has left the scene of our lives and we've gone in an entirely different direction, there's still that pull that's present there. You know what I'm talking about.
And it's kind of a weird example, but some of you out there that watch TV shows, if you've ever watched Once Upon a Time, what he's talking about is exactly what is a good example of that. So if you watch Once Upon a Time, in the show, the evil queen, she takes the heart out of people, and of course in the movie or in this TV show, it doesn't look realistic. Good thing, because I don't like blood.
No gore, yay!
And it's actually not a scary thing at all. They do it pretty good where you don't get grossed out or anything. But she reaches in, takes the heart out from somebody, and she speaks into it, and she talks, and she controls them that way. And so this is a really good example of what Tom's talking about, because people can have a huge sway over us, over our emotions, what we think. And even years later, when you've cut ties with people, you can still sometimes feel that tug. And so that's why Tom and I are teaching about this, because we want you to be free from that.
That's right. So it's like the old tin can and the strings when we were kids, and we would poke a hole in the end of two empty tin cans and put the string in there and tie it in, and then you'd stretch that string out, and you could be 100 feet away, and you could talk into the can, and the person on the other end would listen, and somehow the string would actually carry the vibrations and be something that was audible on the other end. When we give away a piece of our heart to people, and that's basically what a soul tie is. It's when you give someone residence in your heart. And we do it in such unusual ways, careless words, all the way up to very intense, passionate, emotional words and connections that we make with people. We give away a piece of our heart, and we give that person almost like squatter's rights in our emotions, in our psyche. And though we may never see them again in the flesh, there's still that speaking that they're able to do in our life somehow. Because remember, Ephesians chapter 4 makes it very, very clear that all of us are connected in one body, and we have all been unified by one spirit. So just because you're not with them doesn't mean there's not still that connection. But when there's a negative connection at work, oftentimes you're hearing you're hearing what you think is your voice, but it's really what your parents said, or what your girlfriend said, or what your buddy said, or what that person, that teacher, that person at the store said. And so it becomes this negative reality in your heart. And because we tend to connect with a lot of different people in life, because we'll meet a lot of people, there are a lot of negative emotional things that happen. And what ultimately begins to happen to us is the heart gets cluttered up with the emotion, with the quirks, with the negativity of other people. This in no way causes God to judge us. This in no way affects His love toward us or His compassion toward us.
We're still sons and daughters.
It doesn't in any way affect our relationship with Him. What it does is it affects your perception of your relationship with Him.
And of yourself.
And of yourself, and of people, because then all of a sudden you've always got your guard up and you're never willing to let anybody in.
That's true.
The heart needs to release these negative soul ties, just like the heart needs to learn how to cultivate the positive soul ties.
Right.
But right now we're dealing with negative stuff because this is the kind of stuff that brings people into bondage.
So that's a good point that Tom's making, because most soul ties that are negative are the ones we want to get rid of anyway.
Right.
So we don't want to get rid of the good ones. You know, Tom and I have a soul tie, and that's good. So right now what I want you to right now what I want you to do is I want you to
Was that inappropriate?
No, not really. Good. I like it. No, just joking. So here's what I want to say. Get some time alone. Get out a piece of paper and ask the Holy Spirit to show you who you have a soul tie with, and He will. You know, everybody sees it a little bit differently. You might see images of their faces. You might hear names. It doesn't really matter. Just write down the names, and keep in mind, there's something I really wanted to tell you is soul ties can be with movie stars.
That's right.
They can be with somebody you saw at the gas station one time 10 years ago.
That's right.
You know, soul ties can be your mother and father, because sometimes those are not healthy soul ties.
Pastors.
Pastors is a big one.
Religious leaders of any kind.
Friends that are actually not friends. So, you know, it could be anybody, but the Holy Spirit will show you this. So write it down on a piece of paper and let the Holy Spirit show you who those names are, and then Tom's going to tell you how to cut those things.
So take the time, write a list, piece of paper and a pen, write it down, people that come to mind, images. Pornography. Some of you have been steeped in pornography, and it is amazing the powerful pull that pornographic images have in clouding up the emotions in the mind and keeping you from really being as productive as you'd like to be. So it could just be a face you saw, a video you saw, whatever. You let those things come to mind, and then once you have the list, go to thronebuilders.org to our blog page, and in the search bar you can search for Breaking Soul Ties. And there is a declaration prayer there that has helped hundreds of people that we've worked with. It's very powerful, very effective. And if you'll get the list together first, don't go, oh, what does the declaration say? Don't worry about that right now. Follow instructions. Get the list. Let God show it to you. I'm being patient.
You have to be patient with them.
Being patient.
See?
But you get the list, and then you go Breaking Soul Ties on the blog page, and that will be a great help to you. And you will see tremendous results immediately.
And remember, it may not be a one-time event. You may go through this several times, maybe because you're not going to remember everybody in the beginning, or maybe the Holy Spirit will only bring a certain amount of people first, and then maybe you can get those cleared out, and then He'll show you some more. Because everybody has different amounts. Some people don't have many at all. Some people have a lot. Depends on how much you've lived life,
That's right. So thank you so much for watching this video. Please make sure that you like and subscribe. And also, please feel free to connect with our Patreon fundraising program, because we're trying to raise money through YouTube, through our YouTube channel, to move forward and better production and more volume of production. So God bless you, and we look forward to your comments below. Hey everybody, Tom Shirley here. Please subscribe to our channel and watch these videos when you get a chance to let Throne Builders affect your life in a greater way. Please like the video below and leave your comments letting us know how this video changed your life. God bless everybody.